City, they know how to grind out those results. If
What do
you
you
have
mean
to,
by
I feel
what
like
do you mean
I
by
feel
trying
like
at the results?
I'm still going to maintain the course. I won't stray. They I refuse to stray. I won't be lured into
Who is lying to? I'm not lying or
off,
causing you to
off,
anything.
off the straight and narrow. I'll keep to this. I'll keep on the straight and narrow. So
Oh
I
Lord.
think they if Man want to get something from that game, they have to get in their faces. Believe me, they have to from the start of the game to the
They have to
end.
kick them, right? You guys have to kick them.
They have to get on their faces. Don't let them play, and it's hard not to let them.
Define what you mean by get on their faces.
You have to be physical. You don't
Just
let them
like
play.
Mark Terminator that you called him the other time, right? He has to do his thing, right?
You
Exactly.
don't have to let them
I
play because
know that
keep
you
them.
guys, that's the only way you can actually
If
have any chance, any modicum of chance of a draw, a win, is to make sure that the referees are in your pocket so that Mark Terminator can actually come with his wrestling tactics.
okay, if I have my way, who's gonna be officiating the game? I'll just go see him
I'll
before the
check
match,
later.
and I'll
No,
be like, yo,
I'm hoping to bring you back for a preview for the match.
you are trying to taint the victory, but it is what it
How's I
is.
tainted a victory? You
Oh
strike. Everything I
well,
was saying is victory.
with
You
your
guys
tongue in
crawled over
cheek,
the line with your
with
with
your
your
with,
boring 3-1 over us. I'm gonna give it to you. You won the game, right?
with
But come on, your
your
performance was piss poor. Let's be real.
yeah. You said what was that word? Disingenuous victory. Thank you. I learned that word that day and I stuck. It's not going to leave.
Wait,
It
are
won't
we
leave.
introducing cynicism to this conversation?
No, you said that. So I'm just saying I learned the word. Because when you said it, I had to go look at the synonyms and I got the context you used it in, and it stuck. That's one
It's
one more
talk.
word to my vocabulary. Yeah.
Only yeah. Very interesting. Very interesting. So let's look at your season thus far. I know you guys started you guys started poorly, but the last four
Very-
games, even though the performance is not A1, but at least you guys have gotten some points on board. So give me your appraisal of the 7 matches, the matches that I've played this season, and let me know your feelings towards those 7 matches and the victories and the losses.
All right. Has it been 7 or 6? I think
7. Let,
my
let me let me see. I think it's 7. Let me share a screen. Let's see if I can be sure what we're talking about.
all
So it
right.
doesn't seem I'm just talking out of my rear.
Okay. Nice. Nice use of euphemism there.
So you can see, right? 7 matches.
Yeah,
Can you
it's
see
7
it?
games. Yeah. Man, you have played 6. Other teams have played 7 because last weekend,
Oh,
the
it's true,
weekend,
guys. You guys have played
yeah,
6.
because I
You have
remember they
played 6.
won. I remember Man U have won 2 and they've lost 2 and the
One
last
four.
4. Yeah, won the last 4.
Okay.
Yeah, so they missed the game because of the Queen's death and I guess they were trying to avoid crowd problems. Man U
Yeah,
leads.
because you know that they need the security to need the police to actually make sure the
Yeah,
British fans. You know how I don't use the word
exactly.
about. We know how the British fans can be very
Certain
very
yeah,
unruly.
certain they can be very yeah. Certain games can get out of hand, so they're just trying to
Exactly.
yeah with the security for the Queen's funeral and everything. So they're just trying, and the police, according to them, they said the police was like understaffed because everybody was converging in London.
Yeah, but thank God the Queen's transition has been done. We can resume normal programming.
Normal programming next weekend.
Exactly.
Yeah. So back to your question, I would say the start was bumpy, it was clownish, it was just something else. It was something I did not expect, but um the performance in the last 4 victories, I would say there's a pattern showing up. Like there's an identity being formed by the team. So even though they are not there yet, at
Yeah.
least there's a trajectory. They are heading towards a direction, and that's something good to see, as opposed to what we're seeing before from last season and early the first 2 games of the season.
That's fair. You know, I don't like Manchester United. I can't say anything very complimentary of them.
Definitely,
It's
I'm
very
not
hard. It's very hard for
definitely.
me to say anything complimentary of Manchester United, but I have to be objective, right? Regardless of my disdain, I would like to deride them, but sometimes you cannot deride what is obviously good, no matter how you want to paint it.
Yeah,
I,
exactly. Just like it's painful. It's painful watching Arsenal play this well, but what can I do? They are playing good. Um,
it's not only painful for me. It's excruciating watching Man U win.
Oh, come on.
No,
That's
for real. That's how I know. Yeah,
no,
it's
Man U is not
excruciating for me.
Spurs. If it's Spurs, I will understand, but Man U is not
Oh,
Spurs.
Spurs, those tribes
Yeah.
on the
So
other side of the
if
road.
if
Oh,
it's excruciating watching Man U play, then how? That means when you're watching Spurs play, you just like all your bones are like grinding
I
together.
don't
You
like them. I don't use the word hate, but it's close to that when it comes to sports. And
come on.
unfortunately, we are going to play them the first match this Saturday. Uh,
Oh wow, that would be a feisty encounter.
exactly. So
So
let's
the
stick on
fact,
let's stick on Man U because I'm not
okay, all right,
done
sure,
tearing down Man U. Like I said,
all
old
right, sure.
Trashford still remains the trash. So now suddenly the cries and the yearnings and the resentless call for Glazer out suddenly have been the volume have been turned down. Tell
You
me something that I
know,
don't know.
there's I won't say anything you don't already know. This is something that I think we've actually spoken about. We soccer fans, very fickle. When the going is good, we
Yeah.
don't okay. They could still say Glazer out, but not as loud.
Okay.
When the team is not playing well, Glazer out with full force. I would
So
say the
okay.
purchasing of I would say the purchasing of these guys
Casemiro
coming in,
and
Casemiro
Anthony.
coming in, Anthony coming in, I would say it kind of calmed the nerves of the fans a little bit. Even though they are still feebly shouting Glazer out, but it's very feeble. It's no longer in bold capital fonts. Now it's in small fonts. The fonts have
Okay.
been reduced. The hashtag is very little.
So that means if you're going to look at it, 'cause I like to look at things logically and the
Mhm.
empirical evidence before us. So is when the team is doing bad, the fans, majority of the fans, especially the online fans, which some of them can
Exactly.
be some of them can be miscreants in their behavior. That was when they remember the Glazers
Exactly.
and
Honestly,
it's been pushed out.
it has been a consistent pattern.
So does that
When
mean
the season that Man U came second, Glazer wasn't really that loud. He wasn't
okay?
that loud. Then when things took a turn the following season and
Yeah.
it was like the team was almost going to relegation, Glazer out full force. The first two games of the season, Glazer out full force. They were belting it as if it was national anthem. And
So
then
is
once
it
the
fair
team
for
began
me
to
to
win,
say? Is it fair for me looking from the outside, even though I'm at a position far right, to say that the cries for Glazer out are just hypocritical. It's just when the things are not going well, that's when you remember Glazer out. But when things are going well, suddenly like there's no consistency or the show of solidarity towards. That means we can actually say this cause is not credible.
no,
Is it fair to
honestly,
say that? Is it fair to say that?
I would want to agree with you because honestly, it's not consistent, right?
Exactly.
Now, if the Glazers actually hadn't been spending money on the team, we could say, okay, yeah, the fans have a point. But they've actually been spending money, even albeit the money hasn't been spent well. Or I don't know if the
Can I
problem has
push
been the
back? Can I
coaching.
can I push back?
Please.
So even though the Glazers have been spending money, is it fair to say that they've been spending the money wrongly? So the bulk still stop at their desk. That it's still fair for the fans to want them out because even though you are spending the money, if you are spending it wrongly, you still have the responsibility because you're spending it wrongly.
The the players that have been coming in for the team, I think they are players that the coach kind of wanted. Okay, now coming from the perspective of the fans, right? I would
Yeah,
say I understand to an extent. Do you know? Think about this. Manu was going for Rabiu. Manu was going for Marko Arnautovic just a few weeks ago.
yeah,
And then when the Glazers out anthem was gathering momentum, they were looking like okay, these fans are going to cause a major disruption of some sort.
yeah.
Suddenly, Manu had the money to buy Anthony. They suddenly had the money to push for the what's his name? I forgot the other player that came in.
And but Anthony Casimiro,
Anthony Casemiro. From Rabiot to Casemiro. From Anatovic to Anthony. And before that time, we were saying, oh, the budget was not enough to get Anthony. It either had to be Anthony and maybe one other player, or like someone if any other player within the budget, or this guy Cody Gakpo.
yeah.
Because it was looking like Mane was going to go for Gakpo because that was the cheaper alternative to Anthony. But suddenly
Okay.
Anthony came in. Suddenly Casemiro came in. The money came in, and then the fans just calmed down.
So if you look at it from that perspective, so is it fair that both Glazers and the fans are just playing a yo-yo game?
Listen, listen. I bet you, if Man U wins a trophy of some sort this season,
Yeah,
Next season, the Glazer buy one or two players in, and it looks like the momentum is pushing on. Nobody will
yeah.
say Glazer out anymore.
So is it
No fan will look at the finances of Man U saying, "Oh, Man U is owing so and so debt, and the debt is mounting. Oh, the Glazers are taking out 11 million pounds at the end of the year as their own
dividend?
money from the
Yeah,
year as their dividend." Nobody will say that. If the going is good, the fans will
yeah.
keep quiet. I think what is getting under the skin of the fans is seeing City, seeing Arsenal going
If
towards the
Arsenal that used to be the banter club,
exactly. Look at Spurs. Look at Spurs. Spurs are
yeah,
like playing okay. Other teams are playing okay. They're
playing
like okay.
okay.
They're going towards I say Spurs, right? I didn't say
Yeah, they are
Arsenal. Arsenal,
crawling okay. Use that word crawling okay. Good. They're not playing
they're
okay. I don't
crawling
think so.
okay. All right.
Yeah,
So look at those teams. They're like Spurs. Sorry. City, Liverpool. Those guys are they're up there. They're like the team to beat. Even though Liverpool is like struggling at the moment, but they are still like the team to beat. And then Man U is still there struggling against Brighton and Hove Albion. So I guess the banter is getting under their skin, and then where's the channel for us to take out the frustration, Glazers
yeah.
out?
So
So I
it's
think
fair to
that's it.
say, oh, this outcry, this rage is just emotional because of what is
It
going on.
is it's emotional. Even Margot Bridge, that was the champion of Glazers out, he hardly says it anymore. And I watch some of his shows, and I still see some of his shows. He hardly says Glazer out. He still says it every now and then, but before it was like
Exactly,
every 5 minutes he said Glazer out. Right now it's like maybe during his show, if it's like a 30-minute show, he just says like once and he keeps it moving.
exactly. So that's also as if he's part of the hypocrisy too. Even though we
Exactly. But
know we know what's at play.
he's actually the champion of the hypocrisy.
Eh,
He is.
So let's go to something you and I have had a conversation about behind the scenes.
Yeah, sure.
Your 80 million pounds fridge, Harry
Fridge?
Maguire.
I know where you're going. I just want to say, man,
Yo, Harry Maguire made a statement, I think a few days or weeks ago. I'm paraphrasing what he said. If he was playing at Man City, he won't have the same problems having at Man U. How did you
he
take that statement? I think that's a bit preposterous to say that if he was playing at Man City. Harry,
and he also was it him that said it or was he somebody close to Harry? But
come
most
on,
times when
we
you see
know
people,
that somebody close
yeah,
to him is his mouthpiece.
we know who is saying that. And
Exactly.
then was it from that same source that I heard something like if Rodri goes to Man U, Rodri will struggle,
He said
and if Harry
Diaz.
and
If
what was
Diaz
it?
came to mind,
Okay,
Diaz,
was
the
it Diaz
defender.
or Rodri?
It
Okay,
was
if
Diaz.
Diaz is
Yeah,
in Man U, he
he
would
was strong.
struggle, and if
Yeah,
Harry
but if he
was
was playing for Man City, he would do better. Like Harry.
I watched an analysis on Sky Sports when people reacted to this particular comment that Harry said, and there was something that the person said. I just like, oh wow, at Leicester City, right?
Yeah,
Leicester style of play during their stellar
their
season,
time where they were actually in the upward
their stellar
trajectory.
season, right? Their stellar
Yeah,
season.
the
That was
stellar
when they
season.
won the
Yeah, that's a
Premier
better
League,
way.
right?
Yeah,
When he had like Conte in front of him, he had and he was who was he playing with? Was it Morgan or was it Johnny
Morgan
Evans?
and Evans. Yeah,
All right. So Leicester City's style of play actually was more or less like they sat
they
back,
were conservative.
they sat back, right?
That
They
was
hit
it.
the
They're
pressure,
conservative.
and then they
Yeah,
hit the break with Mares and Vardy,
and
right?
Vardy.
That was
Yeah,
like their style of play, and it worked for them all through that season. Now, that style of play, you actually have a lot more bodies behind you, a lot more bodies around you, that you are
yeah.
not like the focal, center of the pressure doesn't really get to you.
You are
The
not playing
pressure
high up the pitch.
exactly, and the pressure has to get to Kante before it gets to you. It has to get to the other person sitting deep before it gets to you. So coming into a team like Mario that was like wasn't even playing well, so the defenders had to like really sit up and work.
And
He
mind
was
you,
he
they
was
have to be
lazy there,
offensive. And mind you has to be offensive.
and you have to play a little bit of a high line. That if you are not pacey, if you're not quick enough,
You're
you
done.
get exposed. Look at
Exactly.
England. I think England style of play kind of favors him
No, no,
because
no, no, no. They should.
no,
The same
because
thing is going with England, right?
yeah.
Southgate tried to shoehorn him. That's why he plays five at the back to protect
To
Harry.
Harry. Because for England, he doesn't really get. For England, he still plays a little. I mean, he's still okay. He
Come
doesn't
on,
like.
I see. My mother will play well five at the back. Let's be real. Come on. Let's be real. Most defenders will play well five at the back. What are we talking about?
Yeah, all right. And then coming into this Man U team now with this style of play that I think Ten Hag wants to employ with the team, I don't think Harry is going to thrive in there because you cannot play a high line if you're not a quick defender. You get exposed. Because playing a high line, you lose the ball. You need people that can actually recover quickly,
You need recovery pace.
protect.
Yeah.
So he doesn't have that pace. Now, if you look at I think there was the game before the last one Man you played that he came in for like the last 6 minutes. Did he come in against Arsenal?
Yeah, he struggled when he came
I
against us.
was scared when he came in, and I was like, Arsenal are going to equalize. If Arsenal had scored one goal with like 3 more minutes to go, believe me, Arsenal would have equalized, and Harry would have made a mistake. Once he came in, I was scared.
I
So
remember
now
he
Harry,
panicked and he wrestled an Arsenal player down.
yeah, Harry Maguire has become a player that when he comes on, everybody's like, oh my god, man, he's going to lose this game. I don't know who
But he's the captain of your team.
that call by Ten Hag. I don't know if he hadn't strapped on the pair when he came in. I don't know if he forgot the pair in Netherlands and then he had to go back and get it before he dropped Harry Maguire.
Do you think? Do you think Ten Hag the stooge?
Just just tell me what stooge means.
I
Like,
mean, is a puppet
I
for
feel like
the
he forgot to
Glazers.
strap on. He forgot to strap on the pair when he came in, but because reconfirming Harry Maguire as a captain kind of made me feel like, okay, does he want to keep playing him, right? And then when
Because then he's
Martinez
already nagging. You
and,
know,
then
he's already putting news in on the press,
and
putting
I do
out.
not understand how highly he rates himself that he thinks he is not the problem in that defense.
Do you think
I
he's a
think
narcissist?
the delusional, that level of delusion it needs to be checked. Believe me, because obviously you are. There's no player, there's no defender that plays alongside you that doesn't look terrible.
Exactly.
Even a half decent defender will.
Will look very, very ordinary.
I'm not surprised why Eric Bailey was frustrated. Like, what the hell is going on?
What's
How is
going
this
on?
guy playing week in, week out, and I'm not seeing not even a game to play? You know? So with Harry, I don't know if there will be a way back for him. Maybe he will
Your
just
captain,
and Harry is not a player that will want to sit on the bench for a whole season.
he can't.
If
He's going
if
to be
he sits on,
disruptive. He is
if
going to be
he sits,
disruptive.
yeah, if he sits on the bench for the whole season, I think he will put in a transfer request at the end of this season. I
So,
think
are you willing to let the club sell him?
please, please, we've seen enough of that. Of the blunder. Harry Maguire he's the subject of countless memes right now. There's a song with Harry Maguire's name in it. It's just he needs to go and revive his career somewhere, but not Man U. I don't think Man U is going to help him do that.
So, you are going to subscribe to selling Harry Maguire?
If Arsenal want him, please, you guys can make him a better player.
Wow. That was below the belt. I wasn't expecting that. I thought we're trying to be civil this time around. So
Sorry.
we are now darting shots at each other, right?
No
Wow.
shots.
Guys, he took the first shots. You took the first salvo. You took the first salvo at me, right?
No. What did I
Wow.
say? No, I'm like the way you're advocating, like, oh, he should stay. I mean, you
I'm
sounded
just
like
asking questions. You are the Man U person here.
okay. All right, I take that back.
Wow.
But I take
Interesting.
that back. I take that back. He's I don't except the whole. Let's say Lindelof that's even sits on the bench now. Let's say Lindelof gets injured, Martinez gets injured, what's his name, Varane gets injured.
Varane.
Okay, then maybe he will come in. That's his only way back in. I think that's his only way back in. Because if Lindelof is fit, Lindelof, I'll pick him over Maguire. Because I mean, Lindelof he's a decent defender. He's not like top up there, but at least he's okay.
So let's speak about Ten Hag. He has come into a very, very, looking from the outside, a dysfunctional dressing room, a
Yeah.
club that has been kind of chaos, trying to steady the ship, trying to make sure everything is going well, steady like on a bad note. But it seems to be steadying the ship, right? So what are your projections for Ten Hag? Do you think he'll make top four?
Top six. I
You
don't want to
modest.
overrate.
That's unusual from you. You modest tonight.
Top six. Listen, this run of 4 victories, yes, there's a style of play that is being brought into the team.
So what's your side of
The players
play?
are getting used to him. I feel like Man U are still going to lose some games, some shocking games. They are still going to put up some abysmal
You
performances.
mentioned a style of play. What was style of play? What was it
His
like?
style of play
Yeah.
is okay. He's trying to get up. He's trying to employ like a possession style of play, right? Where you build the ball, you try to tire out the opposition by being in possession of the ball. But I don't think he has the players that will actually do that for him for a full 90 minutes. Yet,
Oh, that's
you
fair.
know, I look at I would say when he was starting McTominay in the last 4 games, I was like, what's wrong with this guy? But somehow McTominay has been playing like okay. He
Playing
still
like
has
McTominay have the refugee in his pocket.
He has what?
The referees union in
Oh,
the soccer.
he has actually been playing well in the
I'm not
last
saying he's
4.
not been playing well, but he has been getting away with some reckless
Yeah, he
tackles.
has. He will get his own. He will get his own very soon if he doesn't get his act together.
But he's Scottish, right?
He's Scottish, but is he English? Well,
It
he's
doesn't
actually.
mean how come the referees does he have some secrets on the referees that for some reason they like to let him get away with some deadly tackles.
Yeah,
Like
well,
let's be real.
he's the Mac Terminator, so they are scared that he will terminate them.
Wow,
Yeah.
Mark Terminator.
Yeah.
Wow, I thought you were trying to be modest, but I thought wrong.
Oh well, I'm actually being modest. I wish Double O
Oh
was here.
wow, 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 wow,
I
wow.
wish Double O
Okay.
was here.
Did you see the match against Germany last few hours?
No, I actually did not. Like,
I heard Maguire was fantastic.
are you being sarcastic? No, I didn't mean to rhyme, but wait, no, I did not. Was it today?
Yeah, he played. It was the match ended a 3-3 draw, and he
Yeah.
conceded a penalty.
Oh God, he
Wait,
can't catch a break.
what's the relationship between Maguire and Southgate?
He can't catch a break, can he?
He can't.
That's the same person that has been running his. Well, Maguire, I don't know. Honestly, it follows me. Believe me. The chances he's getting, and he keeps
Yeah.
on messing up. It's just it's very confusing. I don't know what but I'm not going to call anything because this is your show, so I don't want to say anything controversial. But it's just
No,
confusing.
say you're free. You say
I don't know. Is it because of
it's
that
called
cover?
the
I don't
skin.
know. I don't know because Eric Bay wasn't this bad. Yeah, we know he was injury prone, but he wasn't this bad, and he didn't get
Exactly.
chances. He comes into games, he actually plays well, and then boom, he goes back to the bench and he sits down there like that's his house. He doesn't get no chance to play. Even Axel Twanzebe will play better than Maguire right now.
So why does Southgate and other coaches before Ten
I
Hag
think
were consistently selecting him?
I don't know what point they're trying to make. Or maybe he has a lot of power, and I'm trying to imagine what power he has because
Because
he came
let me
from
show
Leicester.
let me show you this tweet, right? I want to show you something interesting. Sorry. I want to show you something interesting. Give me a minute.
Hmm?
Uh, do, 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 do. Why is it not connecting? What's wrong with this? Uh, Sorry. Try to take away this. I'm trying to share something and it's not letting me share it for now. Let me see. Can you see this?
Uh, yeah.
Now, remember when he made this statement
Oh,
a while ago that people criticize me for clicks, which was for me an easy cop out. Like, why can't he take constructive criticism, reflect, and be sure of himself? He was so bullish that no, everybody's talking about it for clicks and like for views. Now and today, he acts a fool.
he's Maguire is not being a realist. I don't think he watches the clips of himself play and then
Exactly.
watch the clips of other defenders play.
For him to
I
compare
don't think
himself to
I,
Ruben Diaz,
I
like, are
actually
you? That was
I
reaching. That
don't
was
think
very
I
reaching.
actually don't think he doesn't he does or those around him are not being
But
realistic to him.
yeah, I think he thinks highly of him. These days, this delusion of grandeur about himself.
I have seen a lot. Forget about clips. I'm a Man U fan. I watched Maguire week in week out last season. I was just the one that stood out most to me was the game against Leicester City. That Kelechi bundled this man off the ball,
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, he shoved off the
laid
ball
the ball
easily.
to
Yeah.
Tillemans, and Tillemans scored a fantastic goal. And I'm like, bro, you had a 1,001 chances to kick that ball, hoof the ball into the center of the park, hoof the ball out. He held on to it until he got bundled off the ball. many blunders like that, and he still thinks it's not the problem. I'm
Why?
sorry.
Why is he always shaky? That's my. Why is he
He
always
has
shaky?
he has been on the bench for the past 4 games, and somehow the team have gotten okay. We nick
Better,
one goal,
exactly.
we nick one goal, and then we just hold on until the end of the game, and you win the game. If Maguire had played that game against Leicester City, that Man U scored, that Man U won 1-0, I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure we would have lost the game 2-1, or at least they would have nicked a draw. He's always a weak link, but he never agrees that he's a weak link. He'll be all right. He'll be all
So,
right.
like you said, you are expecting Man U to see have a decent season, maybe in the top six, if possible,
Yeah,
into the top four.
I'm hoping for the top six. That the
That,
top
that,
six.
that that's fair. That's fair.
So I would
So,
anybody say man you want to carry a Premier League, well, they better wake up from their bubble because it's forget about it.
but
Top four.
miracles are no. They like if you believe, there can be miracles.
Yeah,
Aren't you a Christian?
you listen too much to Mariah Carey and Whitney Houston song, right? Yeah,
I don't.
I
So
love this
this
song.
week,
I love this song.
this weekend, guys are playing Manchester City
Hmm.
at the Etihad.
If we get a draw in that game, man, I know we've come a long way. Yeah, if we win the game, man, I know we've come a very very long way.
Wow.
I'll begin to hope against hope. But if Man U
So
loses,
do you think you guys can nick something from that game?
maybe a draw.
Maybe a draw.
Maybe.
How confident are you that you can nick a draw?
I probably sound more confident than I feel, but maybe a draw.
Today's Monday, right? You
Yeah.
still have 6 more days to change your mind.
Maybe honestly, maybe a draw because Man U will need somebody to hold that man child they have in that team, that guy.
Is that the only person you're threatened by?
That yeah, I'm threatening by him because once he gets a ball in the box and the Bruyne is there to feed in those balls, they can look for a way to
But
nullify these
to be
two.
fair, let me just take away my Arsenal heart and take away my opposition bias towards your wretched team. Uh, you guys have actually won 2 big games this season against Liverpool, against Arsenal. So your record against the top six is good, even though you guys are crawling over the line. But let's be
Man,
fair, two
Man
out of
City,
two, 2 out of 2. That's good. That's a decent record.
I think
No, that's not a decent record. That is a 100% record against 2 big teams.
Man City brings something different to the table.
Like what? Doggy style or what?
Okay, okay, I'll let that go. It's your show, but I'm still going to be respectful.
You said they bring something different to the table.
Man City, they know how to grind out those results. If
What
you
do you
have
mean
to,
by
I
wait?
feel
What do
like
you mean
I
by
feel
trying
like
out the results?
I'm still going to maintain the course. I won't stray. They, I refuse to stray. I won't be lured into
Who is lying to? I'm not lying or
off,
causing you to
off,
anything.
off the straight and narrow. I'll keep this. I'll keep on the straight and narrow. So
Oh
I
Lord.
think if Man want to get something from that game, they have to get in their faces. Believe me, they have to from the start of the game to the
They have to
end.
keep them right. You guys have to kick them.
They have to get on their faces. Don't let them play, and it's hard not to let them.
Define what you mean by get on their faces.
You have to be physical. You don't
Just
let them
like
play.
Mark Terminator that you called him the other time, right? He has to do his thing, right?
You
Exactly.
don't have to let them
I
play because
know
if
that
you keep
you
them,
guys. That's the only way you can actually have
if
any chance, any modicum of chance of a draw, a win, is to make sure that the referees are in your pocket, so that Mark Terminator can actually come with his wrestling tactics.
okay, if I have my way, who's gonna be officiating the game? I'll just go see him
I'll
before the
check
end,
later.
and I'll just
No,
be like, yo,
I'm hoping to bring you back for a preview for the match. Match is on Sunday. Hopefully, we
I
can do
just
a preview on Friday.
yeah, okay. I just be like, yo, what's going on? What's going on?
What's
Behave
going on?
yourself before the
But
game,
right now, like I said, the 6 more days, you are allowed to be arrogant. So
Yeah, sure.
I
So
get
the
it.
game, believe me, the game. If Man U gets a draw in that game, they try.